Was scampering fleeing rodents? Welcome back to Monkeyboy's Toys, and welcome back to the item of seating furniture that is the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again.
Monkeyboy, stop what you're doing and pay attention to me.
Skeletor, what do you want?
Right, I want to tell you that my channel has just passed 300 subscribers.
Okay. Well done. What do you want me to do about it?
Well, I want you to congratulate me.
Okay. Congratulations, Skeletor.
Yes.
Right. Well, I'm about to do a video, Skeletor. So, do you want to stay and watch?
Yes, I do.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to pop some clothes pegs on your feet. Okay.
Yes. Hurry up.
Right. And then I'm going to pop you over here, and you can stand there, and you can watch the items that I'm showing this week. Is that okay?
Yes. Get on with it, you idiot.
Okay, guys. So, you may remember a couple of weeks ago I showed some items that I had picked up at the Norwich Toy Fair, and a couple of which were the Tonka TNT Racers. And I'd just like to show you that I have some more. So not one, not two, not even three, but 4 Tonka TNT Racers. So let's have a quick look at those. We'll start on the right hand side here, just quickly. This one is called Red Thunder, and as you can see, the driver is Rod Lightning. So there we go. There's Red Thunder. These were all produced in 1983, I believe. Let's have a look. Is it? Yes, 1983 by Tonka Toys. So there's Red Thunder. Let's sort of stand that at the back there. Let's have a look at the next one. The next one here just says TNT on the front, and on the back it says "What a Blast!" Number 99. There we go. Don Dynamite apparently is the driver of this one. So we'll pop that at the back as well. Next up we have got Crossfire, and this just says on the back "Sizzling Hot." Doesn't say who the driver is, but there we go. So there's Crossfire. Pop that one behind you, Skeletor.
Yes.
And then last up, we've got this one. It's a little bit worn on the front, but this one is called the Black Magic Vet. And on the back, rather amusingly, it says, "Poof, I'm gone." So there we go. Pop that to the back there. Now, Skeletor, I think you might be slightly annoyed by the next items.
What are they, Monkeyboy?
Well, I'm about to show you, Skeletor. I picked up some more MOTU figures, and I think I will start with this guy.
Oh no.
Yes, so it's Cyclone. Now I did already have a Cyclone figure, but the one I had wasn't in great condition. This one's in much better condition. He's very, very spinny. Occasionally you can find the ones where the mechanism is a little bit stiff, but this one is very spinny indeed. Do you want to see what he does, Skeletor?
Yes, show me.
I'm trying to hit you in the face, Skeletor. There we go. I just clipped you in the face. Did you feel that?
No, not really. That was a weak attempt.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do it again. Anyway, so yeah, here's Cyclone. His hologram on the front is in pretty good condition. He's still got his armbands. Quite often, kids would pull these off, these red bands from his head and from his arms. So sometimes you can find examples of this figure without the red bands on, so that's something to look out for. One thing I always did think was peculiar about this figure was the size of his hands. Now, I don't know if it's coming across on camera very well. If I twist his hands up, he seems to have very small fists. I don't quite know what they were thinking with the sculpt there, but they do look a bit small on him. But yeah, and he's got the little wheel on the back there that you can flick round and make him do the power punch or the spinning punch. But yeah, so there's Cyclone. He seems to want to spin round to the back all the time. But there we go. So we'll stand him at the back. And next up we've got. Here's Mechaneck. Let's see if the camera will focus. There we go. So here's Mechaneck. Obviously, he doesn't have the power punch feature. Instead, when you twist his waist, his neck extends up. He was in great condition. All the chrome and stuff on his eyes was in pretty good nick. There's a few scratches and stuff, but he looks pretty good. Quite often, the front of his eyes here are worn off. So I've got one that's in pretty good condition, and he's got his rather sort of complicated club. It's a lot more ornate than a club needs to be, I would argue. It is hollow. So yeah, there you go. Oh, and he's dropped it. So there's Mechanic. What do you think of him, Skeletor?
Well, I don't like him, obviously.
Well, no, I don't think you can be blamed for that. Really, he's not one of your minions, is he?
No.
So the next character that I picked up, you're going to love this one, Skeletor.
Oh, God, what is it?
It's Orko.
Oh, bloody hell. Why have you bought that little shit?
Well, because I didn't have an Orko Skeletor, not a vintage one anyway. So I picked this guy up for a very good price. He doesn't have his ripcord and the magic trick that came with him with the little discs. I just got the figure as is. Perhaps I can pick up the bits at some point, but I'm not too fussed about it. The ripcord would fit into this hole here, and you would pull that, and then this little metal pin at the bottom would spin around, and when you stood him on a flat surface, he would then kind of jiggle and dance around. But as I say, I didn't pick those. I didn't pick one up with the ripcord and the magic trick. But anyway, so there's Orko. I'm sorry that you're not a fan of him, Skeletor.
Oh, God.
He's in pretty good condition. His ears are a little bit scuffed. I think his hat has been pulled off at some point because his hat is a little bit wobbly. So I think at some point someone's yanked his hat off again. Now, Orko does look rather amusing without a hat. Perhaps I'll pop a picture up here. Just showing you what Orko looks like without a hat. He does look quite funny, but I'm not gonna pull the hat off of this one because I don't want to damage the paint on his ears any further. But there we go. So there's Orko. So they are the vintage figures that I picked up. And now for the highlight of my week, I actually picked up. It's another She-Ra. Now I say another because this is a re-release of the figure. This was obviously released previously in the MOTU Origins line by Mattel, but this has been re-released, and as we can see in the top corner here, it's a fan favourite. There were several figures that were released. If we flip it round to the back, She-Ra, Merman, Zodak and Triclops, I believe, were released as fan favourites, and there are very minor differences in the figures, mainly to do with paint apps. I haven't had any of these three characters in hand, so I'm not entirely sure what the differences are, but there are certainly some differences with the She-Ra figure. You do have to kind of look closely, but there are differences. So what I'll do, I'll bring in my Origins She-Ra figure that I got a couple of years ago. Now, those of you who saw my video with Luke Reynolds, where we did our top 5 MOTU Origins figures, you will be aware that She-Ra made my number 1. She was my favourite MOTU Origins figure, but I dare say that this fan favourite here is actually even better. I do prefer this, and I'll point out the reasons why. As you can see, they do look almost identical, but if you look closely, you can see that the re-release has got her shield and the sword of protection stored in the bubble next to her, as opposed to the original that had, I don't know if you can see properly, but her sword and shield are sort of taped to her back in the bubble, so you can't see them. Some other differences are, the main difference, which I noticed right away actually, was the glitter on her belt and her head whatever that is, headdress. If you look at the first release, you can see the pixels in the glitter are quite large, if you can see those, whereas if you look on the fan favourite one, the pixels are a lot smaller. So that's quite a major difference. I do actually prefer the look of the smaller pixels. I think they look nicer. Also, I don't know if it's coming across on camera very well. Let me see if I can compare these. You can see that the colour of her headdress and her gauntlets on her wrists and her boots are all on the original one. They are sort of more yellowy, and they're kind of more bronzish, goldish colour on the re-release. Also, the stone or the gem in the middle of her midriff there is a slightly more metallic blue, as opposed to the other one, which was more of a flat green colour. This one is a bit more metallic. Obviously, the card backs are different as well, because this one, the first release is just showing the characters that were available in the wave, whereas this one is showing, although there isn't a call out that's saying that these are fan favourite editions, but I believe they are. Anyway, I'm sort of waffling. So there we go. That was my great pickup for the week. Very pleased to get She-Ra. Oh, there is one other difference, I think. If we take a close look at this the first release's eyes, we can see that they are printed as such. She doesn't have any eyelashes that are visible. She's got a bit of a smudge on her cheek as well, which I've never really noticed before, so that's quite annoying. But anyway, if we bring in the fan favourite version, if you look closely, she does seem to have eyelashes. I can't get it any closer to the camera without losing focus, but if you look at the corners, the outer corners of her eyes, she does appear to have eyelashes that are printed on. So that's another difference. And I think actually, like I said, I actually prefer this fan favourite version. And of course also I've got the US version here, with the standard, with the writing and the little bio on the back, that's saying that She-Ra protects the Whispering Woods and all Etheria from the attack of Hordak and the evil Horde. Whereas on the European version, there we go, it doesn't have that right up. It's just got a flash there, saying that there's a comic included in various languages. But anyway, there we go. That's all I've got to show you today. What do you think of those, Skeletor? Do you want to be ganged up on by lots of She-Ras?
Not particularly, Monkeyboy.
Okay, well I'll stand these to the back there, and then we'll wrap up the video. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And thanks to everyone as well that has subscribed to Skeletor's channel. Passing 300 is a little milestone for him, and I think he's quite happy about that. So, is that all right, Skeletor?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, that's about it for now. So Skeletor and I are going to make like shepherds and get the flock out of here. See you later. Bye. Oh, one more thing. I forgot to say, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up and share it with any other fleeing rodents you may know. Do leave me a comment and let me know what you think of today's pickups. And do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. That's about it. Right, I'm off ski. See ya.